You're listening to In the Zone with Fred and Angela, and I am talking with Jefferson head baseball coach John Lowery Sr., just coming back from Myrtle Beach, and you've got a lot of games coming up this week and throughout the rest of the season. Coach, let's talk about – you've got a matchup actually beginning tonight at 6 o'clock against Thomas Johnson, Maryland. Talk to me about that ball club. What do you know about them, and what do they have in store for you tonight?
Well, I know traditionally TJ has always been one of the stronger teams in our area. They're coached by a guy by the name of Jim Foyt, who I've known for a number of years. He's a former professional player, played at the AA level in the Texas Ranger organization, and he's had played at Virginia Tech. So, and besides his baseball acumen, he's a great guy. So it's always fun to play TJ, and because you know that they're going to, it's going to be a quality team. It's going to be another challenge for us. And you're right, this week is going to be busy. We got Musselman tomorrow night, and I'm, seeing the latest poll, they're ranked number one in the state. And then, of course, Mercersburg, then Hedgesville. Then we go to Morgantown on Saturday for a doubleheader. So, hopefully we can be up to that. We like to play, and our season is so compact in terms of our start date and our finish date and the number of games we're allowed to play that, it requires you playing just about every day. And, of course, the weather has really cooperated with us this year and, allowing those playing dates to take place. And it looks like this is going to be another week of that type. And, of course, that type of schedule is always a challenge to a high school pitching staff. And so, we're just we're going to get them together again this afternoon and see what happens.
Well, Coach, you talk about the baseball in the Panhandle and how successful it is and how good it is here. When you look at that latest poll that came out, you've got 3 of the 5 schools here in the Panhandle, or 6 schools if you include Hampshire, in the top 10. As you said, Musselman number 1, you're there, as well as Martinsburg is there as well. I mean, I've always said that I thought this was the toughest region in baseball because then you go ahead and you look at the other side. You've got Bridgeport there that's ranked again. RCB has been ranked. I mean, this is some great baseball, maybe the best baseball in the state being played right here.
Well, here and, of course, you can add Fairmont Senior and Morgantown. Both have been in that poll this year, and they're out there in the middle part of the state with Bridgeport and them. And, of course, you can't overlook that corridor down between Charleston and Huntington with Hurricane and Nitro, and of course you go down in the Coalfield a little bit further, Logan, and even though they're not AAA, Chapmanville. So there seems to be pockets throughout the state where there's been successful baseball, over a period of time. And you're right. I would feel that what we have here in the Panhandle would stack up with any of it, and I think you could even extend the Panhandle out to you could go to Kaiser, Petersburg, and those areas. And through the years, there have been some state championship programs in those locales as well. So, plus some players of note, from those areas. Travis Harper from Circleville, and of course John Kruk from up in Kaiser, and so it's interesting, no question. I really have. You try to sell the merits of the Panhandle. I think sometimes it gets lost for whatever reason. But not only baseball-wise now, I think you can look with the other sports and with football, basketball, and track and the success those programs have had, the volleyball at Musselman, that Panhandle and the sports, or the sports here in the Panhandle can certainly compete with anybody in the state.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, Coach, talk to me about some of the guys in your ball club that have led you so far this season, and a couple of names that really stand out and have done a good job for you.
Well, we feel like we've got a couple of seniors that Corey Mangold's back in left field. He was a starter on last year's team. He's hitting in the 270, 275 range for us, sold close to 15 bases. I don't have the stats right here in front of me, but he's approaching 20 runs scored. Really good foot speed. He runs a legitimate 6.660, and of course at this level that's like gold, because especially when you hit a ground ball, get on base, he's pretty much advanced just by stealing. Frazier Brown is transfer student in from Middletown, has done well for us. He's had several big hits. Of course, he had the big hit against Martinsburg, hit the grand slam homer down against Monsignor McClancy in the opening game at Myrtle Beach that got us going there. Had the double against Frontier, New York that helped us in the bottom. Won the game for us in the bottom of the seventh there. Pitching wise, Blake Johnson was our most experienced pitcher back from last year. He's won 4 games. Sean Spots has kind of emerged. He's his last 3 outings, he's pitched 3 complete games for us, and including striking out 10 against Saranac, New York on Wednesday down at Myrtle Beach. So he's starting to establish himself as one of our more reliable pitchers. You can look around our infield. You got Casey Billmeyer at first base, has had some big hits for us. Horace Brown played second base. Freshman Andrew King has started to establish himself a little bit at shortstop. He started playing there about 10 days ago, and he had 7 hits during the week down at Myrtle Beach. And so we're glad to see his starting to get his feet on the ground and getting confidence. Being a freshman, he's about 6'1". He's a real athletic kid, and of course we are tickled to have him for 3 more years. Third base, Andrew Grove has kind of established himself there. Again, in the last 10 days or so, with the defensive adjustments we've made, he's played very well there defensively for us. In the outfield, in addition to Mangold, we have Anthony DeMario in center field. He's the young man who hit the 3-run homer last year against Martinsburg in the regional game, and he's hitting around a 400 clip for us. In right field, it's been shared by 2 juniors, Michael King and Matt Ballou, both young men with good arm strength that can run, and certainly when one doesn't play in the outfield, he'll DH occasionally, and of course Dennis Jackson, I guess he's been our primary DH. He's hitting around 350 range, and so those are basically the nucleus of players that have kind of led us to this point. And a number of those guys are names that are first-time around names, and they're starting to establish themselves. So hopefully, as the season goes along, our play can continue to grow and be more consistent, and hopefully by season's end we might be in a position to challenge again for the tournament.
Hey, we're talking with head coach John Lowery, senior of Jefferson High School. Coach, a couple more quick things, and then I'll let you go. I don't know if you'd had a chance. This happened while you were all in Myrtle Beach. Did you see what Elijah Wellman did from Spring Valley against Nitro, the pitcher?
No, but he's the guy that we faced last year.
Okay, well
up at in that Morgan in the McDonald's Classic up in Bridgeport. He was he the one that's 6'2", about 230.
Yeah, he's a big kid. He's a great football player. But he went last week against Nitro. He pitched 10 innings, no hits, and struck out 22.
Well, I can believe that because of course, those kind of numbers, those are almost defy the belief. But he was a sophomore last year, and we were very fortunate to win that game. I think we won that game 5-2 when somebody hit a ball in the right field that happened to get over the right fielder's head, and that was a couple guys on base. And we were very fortunate. You could see that guy was going to be his quality.
And I guess the bad thing about that, though, it was a no decision as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so his team won, but they went 13 innings. So
I had a kid one year. This has been 20, 25 years ago, a kid named J.D. Cranenberg had struck out 20 in 10 innings, and then we got beat 1-0 in the 11th inning.
Oh, wow. Hey, Coach, final question for you. I know you have been the face of Jefferson Baseball for such a long time and has done a great job. And this is your, 40th year, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And in those 40 years, what has been the one biggest change in high school baseball?
Wow, that's a pretty all-encompassing question. I just think there seems to be a predominance of interest in the game itself that has grown over the years. From the emphasis that schools put on it to the seriousness that the athletes that play it take for the game. I know when we first started, nobody was playing, the 32 games like you could play. It used to be you could play as many as you want. I remember one year we played 45 games.
Wow.
Before the teams didn't travel the way they do now.
Mm-hmm.
The advent of summer programs, of travel teams, fall teams, there just seems to be an explosion in the interest in high school baseball, and particularly in our area. And I think it all goes with the television exposure you have with the college game, and the ESPN where it's constantly, you can see it, and you can see it in other sports too besides baseball. But I just think there's an explosion of interest that has occurred over a period of time that has allowed the game to evolve talent-wise. That you can see that the kids are more sophisticated in their approach to the game and how they play, and I can only see it getting better as time continues on.
Outstanding.
You can just look here in the Panhandle right now. You got, just in our two counties, you got 5 good high school baseball teams.
Yeah, it's true. All right, sounds good. Hey, Coach, I appreciate the time. I know you've got a game getting ready tonight against Thomas Johnson, Maryland. Wish you the best of luck tonight and this week, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Thursday when you take on the Hedgesville Eagles, all right?
Okay, great.
All right, good talking to you as well. Head coach John Lowery, Sr. of the Jefferson Cougars. When we come back, we continue with In the Zone with Fred and Angela right here on Sports Radio, 1340 WEPM.